guys, my videos keep on stopping. I don't know why. They keep on stopping every time they're about to reach 20 minutes. I don't know why, but I had to talk about this. Last time I mentioned the fact that your womb can be toxic to carry a child, and sometimes that child is not guided to be in the same vibration as your womb. So that's why sometimes when miscarriage happen, it's because you have to go under a lot of healing yourself, healing your womb in order for you to produce a child. So narcissists are actually something that can be inherited. As much as the trauma goes from a generation to generation, narcissism can be a trauma too. You're carrying it to your next generation. So what does that mean? That means it's inherited. Narcissist is something that is also inherited. That's why most of the time you'll be like, this kid is acting like who? For example, my niece started acting exactly as her mother. Exactly as her mother. She was doing exactly. I even said the way she's acting, it's like she knew that her mother was like this. She was exactly her narcissistic tendency, her way of using her body to allure men, her way of using her body to get whatever she wants, her way of manipulating, her way of changing tone every time she encountered men. She was doing it as if she saw her mother, but at the time she didn't saw her mother. She's a teenager. She's acting exactly as her mother. So to the point that you feel like it's something that is actually um she's she saw her mother. Her mother is still a hoe, but she does it not in a manner that her kids can see through her. In not she hides it, but eventually something that is in your blood. That's why when they say when you are healing, you're also healing other people. You're also healing your bloodline. You're also healing whenever your mother is healing or your daughter chooses to heal, there's a higher possibility your mother is healing, except for narcissists. In order for people to be able to heal, they need to have a sense of accountability, a sense of responsibility. When you're being responsible, whenever whatever happened in your life, you're taking responsibility. That's when how healing can happen. That's how whenever you're gonna be able to accept constructive criticism, because being criticized constructive, it's something that they're trying to build your character. They're trying to show you your blind spot. They're trying to show you how you are being messing up your life, how you're being a dick in your life, how you're being a villain in your life. So when you know that you're not accepting such a thing, how can you actually grow? When you're not allowing yourself to be vulnerable, the importance of being vulnerable, it's bringing you to your own healing. It's bringing you to what you are being not taking responsible for. You can't be vulnerability as well as accountability goes well together. You can't just extract one, act the other way around, and you're not acting other way around. You need to be vulnerable with yourself. You need to be honest with yourself. When you're not being honest with yourself, there's no way you can grow. There's no way. Whenever you trying to make excuses and feel like entitled as if life owns you, life does not own you. The world does not own any shit. So you having this tendency of being feeling like the world own you, there's no way you can heal. There's no way you can be accountable for whatever things that you do. So then what happened? A narcissist can be inherited as much as it can be created. That's why a lot of people, whenever they go through something and end up not being healing. So another thing, I'm just gonna make example about movies. I know movie wise, they always putting a crown to narcissistic tendency. For example, which movie? Do you know where a movie whereby someone at the beginning maybe they lost their wife, was killed by someone, and then they end up chasing revenge? At the end of the day, some they show that revenge is not the answer. Because it's not the answer. Revenge is not always the answer. I don't give a fuck what you think. The fact that you still have a mentality that you have to show off to your enemies that you are winning. Oh, I don't understand why do that. Why just the fact that they don't see you as they undermine you, they're doing whatever shit they're doing. You know what does that mean? It means it's a people that you're not supposed to be around. It's people that constantly putting you down. It's because they are afraid of your light. They are afraid of your greatness. So why are you wanting to show off to those nonsense? It's people that you should not give a fuck about. So yes, it's okay to be financially stable. I know sometimes we are pushed by enemies to be financially stable. We are pushed by people who actually hate us to be financially stable, because yeah, there are people who are given, it's a divine love. The fact that there are people who actually notice your light and being threatened about it, the fact that they want to not see your light, it's the fact that you are being guided. It's another way of being guided by God. Those people are actually sent by God to see something. Because when I grew up, I used to be bullied because of my sensitiveness. I was sensitive to a lot of things. I was sensitive. I was an emotional person, as I am. But if they didn't recognize it, I wouldn't have known that my sensitivity is something that made me different from other people. I wouldn't have embraced my gift, because being sensitive is a gift itself. So that's why I sometimes I'm okay with haters. Or eventually sometimes I'm like, what the hell? Wow, she's so mean. I'm a human. Sometimes my feelings get hurt by enemies. But at the same time, if I didn't allow myself to feel that, I didn't allow myself why they bullying me because of my sensitiveness,